So what is ranked choice voting? Ranked choice voting is a simple change to the way we cast our votes that enables a better voter experience, better campaigns, and we believe ultimately better government. So all it means for you as a voter is instead of going to vote and saying, this is my preferred candidate, we're done, you get to say, this is my favorite candidate, but then you get to rank some backup choices. Now for this video, we are only talking about instant runoff voting, which is the kind of ranked choice voting that's used when you're electing one person at a time. So a mayor or a president or a congressional representative, as opposed to multiple members of city council at a time, for example. So instant runoff voting. The best we can ask for, the minimum that we should be asking for when we're expecting one person to represent an entire electorate is that they are supported by at least half the voters. That's not the case now. Now, most elections are plurality elections. So no matter how many people are in the field, whoever gets the most votes wins the election. Now, if you have a crowded field of candidates, that quite often doesn't come anywhere near 50%. We just had a lieutenant governor's race in Virginia where the winner got less than 28% of the vote because it was a 6-person race. We've had several crowded fields in Virginia just this year for congressional seats, etc., where the winner came nowhere close to 50%. We've seen it at the local and the state and the federal level. If you're asking one person to represent an entire electorate, the floor of what we should require is that they get 50% of the vote. That's what ranked choice voting does. It identifies the candidate that is supported by the majority of voters. So as a voter, you show up, you say, this is my first choice, my second choice, my third choice, etc. Once everyone's voted, and you get to do that, you show up one time, you fill out one ballot, you get to list all those choices. Then, once all the votes are cast, all of the first choice votes are counted. If somebody has gotten to 50% of the vote after that initial tally, then great. We didn't need ranked choice voting that time. Everybody got to go home early. If there were only 2 people in the race, we didn't need ranked choice voting because someone's getting 50%. But in these fields where you have 5, 6, 12 candidates, the odds of someone getting to 50% on the first ballot are increasingly low. So what we're going to do now is we're going to tabulate those first choice votes, and then we're going to eliminate the candidate that got the fewest first choice votes. If you voted for that candidate, now your vote is going to count for your second choice. If your first choice is still in the race, your vote stays with them. But if your candidate was eliminated, if you picked a long shot, you got to go vote for them without feeling like you were going to waste your vote, without feeling like you were giving up your voice. But if they get eliminated, now you're still in the conversation and your vote counts for your second choice. And we are going to keep reallocating those votes as candidates get eliminated until somebody crosses that 50% threshold. So what does that mean? Well, it means a few things. It means that candidates who build consensus are more likely to get the second choice votes of other candidates. So if those candidates are eliminated first, all of a sudden that vote total goes up and that coalition that they've built comes together to get them past 50%. Building that coalition also made them a better candidate, I guarantee it. It helped voter turnout because more people heard from their candidates. It's also going to make them better at their job if they do get elected because they've talked to more constituencies, they've talked to more kinds of voters than they might normally have, and they do know the needs of their electorate better than they might have otherwise. It disincentivizes negative campaigning because if you need those second choice votes, you can't just go, say false, negative, bad things about a candidate they support. If they love that candidate and you trash talk that candidate, you're going to turn off those voters, as opposed to saying, yes, I see that you support that candidate. Let me tell you what we have in common. Let me tell you why I should earn your second choice. Now you've built up a coalition, and voters hate negative campaigning, but clearly it works because we spend, as a political industry, millions and millions and millions of dollars are spent on negative campaigning, but we don't like it. So no one's going to give it up out of the goodness of their hearts. So we have to disincentivize it. Ranked choice voting also means that there's less gatekeeping. You don't have to worry about vote splitting. You don't have to worry about two similar candidates splitting a vote, because that's just not mathematically possible with ranked choice voting. So instead of seeing someone who wants to step up to run for office being told by the powers that be, we already have someone, and we already have someone like you're just going to steal their votes. Everybody is able to be in the race without it being a zero-sum game. So that gives voters more choices and more voices and more perspectives and more brain power in the conversation, trying to solve the problems that face voters on a day-to-day basis. So ranked choice voting, this easy change that is intuitive to us, we all rank things every day, it has so many trickle-down benefits. And most importantly, it identifies a candidate that is supported by the majority of voters. So you can't have a grip on 30% of the voters and count on a crowded field to keep your seat. You really have to go, as an elected official, as a candidate, you really have to go build community, and you have to go talk to different kinds of voters, and that is good for everyone. So ranked choice voting is an easy change, and it has a lot of great benefits, and we'll talk about how it works in a multi-winner race in another video. Thanks.